Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back for some more EVE Online, and in today's video I'm actually making my way to Amarr space. It's been a long time, but I am going to try and get the blueprint copy business back up and running, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit about my new highsec lifestyle, my new routines. So I jump clone back to Amarr, which is one jump out of the tal, where I have a lot of stuff, and then a couple jumps out I have a lot of blueprints ready in a station that can do research and can do copies, and so this is a routine that I'm going to try to build back up on probably a 10-day basis or something like that. Something else that I'm still doing every single day as well is my PI, although again, being away from the place where I'm doing my PI, it has caused some problems, and so you can see that half my planets, or no, these two planets are only running one extractor, and that is because I've gone completely out of balance with the production of precious metals. So now I'm making probably a couple of days of just base metals in order to produce these reactive metals and try to basically you know, bring some more balance to my planets. But this is something that I still do every single day. It is very passive. Just come online, and from anywhere in the universe you can start your extractors, but you can't get stuff out of the planet from anywhere, and so this is why I actually had this this be completely full, like 99% I think was full of capacity, and it was filled to the brim with that precious metal, and so now I have to work a little bit on fixing that, and which required a jump clone, getting the finished stuff out, and thus giving me some room to try and fix things. So PI, I'm still doing that, but being away in my nomadic lifestyle in my Orca does mean that there's a little bit more trouble when it comes to fully balancing that, and so you know, that's something that I'll have to work into my current routines. I kind of want to talk a little bit about my experience as well so far exploring out there. So I've been in the Orca, and I've mostly been in Minmatar space. It's been a very interesting mix. Sometimes you have really long stretches of very high true-sec, and you really don't find anything good there. But then there are these patches that seem to attract a lot of good Angel Cartel combat sites, and the loot has been amazing. I think it's because it's a lot of shield stuff that those prices are very high, and I would honestly say when you hit the jackpot, when you've got a couple of good modules that drop in an Angel Cartel site, the value is going to be 50 to 100% more than what I've been experiencing in the Sasha sites. So less players in Minmatar space, a bit less competition, and higher value of the drops. It is a very nice place to be an explorer, to be honest. Something else that has changed when it comes to my lifestyle at the moment is of course that I don't have structures, and I don't have services up and running anymore. I also don't have fuel costs. It's actually something not to underestimate, how good it feels to now have a wallet that, as long as I find stuff and sell stuff, basically only goes up. Everything that I find, if I find a good drop 300 million ISK, okay, that potentially is a fully fitted ship of a certain size, and it's just going to become part of my potential for whatever I want to do next. It's just pure profit. The more I play EVE Online, you know, the stronger I basically become, from my own perspective, of course. Not perhaps other players are doing a lot better than me, but my character is acquiring more assets, is acquiring more means, and you don't have like a rolling loss, which, you know, keeping all those services up in the tal was definitely something that, you know, was a cost that that could on a bad month mean that my wallet would be going down. I'd be spending more than I was making. And then so here we have the blueprint copy. So this was my latest run. I still haven't really found my routine on these, but let's take a quick look at it, because I actually went back in here as well. I've got another 10 jobs running. This time I've focused on freighters, Orcas, and a couple of structures to keep everything within 9 days. This way I'll have a nice routine. I can just jump clone back here 9 days later, grab all these BPCs, put them all up again, and try to sell them. But the cost and the duration from an NPC station is a lot higher than from a structure, and so as a result here I do need to be a little bit more careful with what I'm producing. Basically from a structure, my own structure, anything that I would make in BPCs would always make ISK, except for maybe the absolute some really terrible exceptions, but all of these capital ships would be making me ISK. But I've tested it out, and or maybe I can even show that. Can I do this? Let's see. Can I do use blueprint? And then, oh, I can't do the copy here, but I think it was like 2.5 million ISK in order to create a single copy for the Moros. So let's take a look at that and try to look at our profit margins on that. So let's find these in the contracts. We'll do the current station, and the Moros is selling. Here we get one for 6 million ISK and one for 19 million ISK. So there's a little bit of profit to be made at 5 million. I think that's what I'm going to try, just to make sure that I get that sale. Let's take a look at that. 5 million or 5.5. That's fine as well. Or maybe even 5.9, not undercutting by too much. Yeah, let's try that first. These will be going for 5,900,000. Next, finish, yes. And then I have another BPC, but not a BPO for this one. So normally I can do copy this contract. All right. Don't do this if you have BPOs in your station, because then it can actually grab a BPO. Next, finish. And press yes, and it's taking that one, so that is fine. Let's take a look at the Naglfar. Pretty much same production cost, definitely above 2 million ISK, and these are going for 9 million here. All right, that's a lot better. I'm gonna try 8 million just to try and get the sale going. So we are still looking at profits. That's good news. Then the next one is the Phoenix. Let's find this one in the contracts. Current station, 10 million. All right, going up in price even more. We're again gonna try just 1 million less and see if we can do that. That's potentially let's see, 6.5 million in profit for this BPC. So that's not bad. And then the Revelation, which I think is going to be the most popular across the board. Ooh, going for 22 million. All right, let's try 19. A nice undercut, but again, that costs like 2.9 million to make. So if this would sell, that would be a very nice profit. Definitely worth the attempt. There we go. And then we've got our Orcas, of course. I'm making quite a lot of these. Still the best chip for mining in highsec, in my opinion, and very consistent demand. But in the latest dev blog, of course, they were gonna look at the Orca. So let's try and sell these quickly so that we can take our profits. Now, these cost around 1 million to make, so that's definitely a much lower cost and also lower time frame to create these BPCs. And so they're pretty easily generally selling for 12.5 million. So a 10 million profit on all of these has to be possible. Let's just put that 12.5 again. Although I may be disrupting the market a little bit by bringing 5 at the same time, but let's give it a try. I'll use the copy feature here again. I've got no BPOs in here. Value is not high enough. Yep. Next one. Maybe I should get rid of the message, but I like to leave them there just in case of you know, a long period of time going past and then making the mistake. Copy this contract one last time, and there we go. So this is something that I haven't done, I think, since I left for Minmatar space, but that I'm going to try to reincorporate in my routines as well. And then I've got a couple more to do, I think. Can do 5 more, so a couple of structures will be good. Let's take a look at the price for the Astrahus BPC. Production cost here, ooh, ouch. I think production cost was like around 1.5 million to create 2 of these. So that is definitely not a big margin. We're gonna set 3 of these up for 2.9 just to get rid of them, basically. But structures are suffering. If you follow my videos, oops, that's too much. There we go, 2.9. If you follow my videos, you know that small groups, I think, are struggling a lot to keep structures up and running in the game at the moment. And yeah, this is also being felt throughout the PI market, which, you know, advanced PI is needed for all of these structures, and in the BPC market as well. There's going to be way more supply than demand at the moment for all of this stuff. And so we'll see how that market evolves, but for now let's just try to dump what I still have. And see if we can get at least a little bit of ISK out of them. These, look at that, one of these is going for 1.45 million, and then the rest at 7.5 million. Not really sure what to make of that. 145. I think you can create 3 of them in a batch, and that you have a production cost. Can actually not see that I've been producing that right now. And then we can look at this one. Yeah, it was a 1.1 million. So 1.2, let's say, for the production of 3 of them. So still 400,000 ISK per unit. So only a 1 million ISK profit if I sell at this range, right? It's 2 more contracts. I am going to undercut this guy by putting him down for 1.4. I want the best price. I need to move product. That is basically the name of the game here at the moment. And next, finish. Yes, and there we go. So that is ready. It's been a long time. It's going to be interesting to see if my BPCs still sell, especially I think for the structure BPCs. That is going to be interesting to see if we can still move any of those. But I am ready, so I can now make my way back to Esesama, and from there I can jump clone back to my Orca and then do some more stuff exploring Amatar space at the moment. We're actually not in Minmatar space, but in Amatar space. It's back with some Sancha sites there. So far, honestly, not that great of a success. I've done some rounds where I found absolutely nothing. It can be quite frustrating, but that is of course the nature of explorations. Sometimes you find a lot of good sites, and sometimes you have some dry spells as well. Anyways, that was a little bit of an extra video on what I'm doing in highsec at the moment. A quick recap to end the video. I'm exploring around in my Orca. At the moment it's Amatar space, probably gonna move back to some more Minmatar space after that, and then I'm planning for Kaldari space. Definitely want to take a look at those sites over there. And now I'll go on a 9 to 10 days recurrent jump clone back to Esesama for BPCs and for my PI to try and get those gains back up and running as well. I kind of lapsed that with the holidays, with the loss of Tital and all of that stuff, but we're going to work on getting those routines back up and running. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.